say we didn't try, huh? Can't say we didn't go down swinging. Oh, my heart right there. Oh! Damn.
Well, we are here today to mourn the loss of two NHL teams. One I wanted to see go incredibly far, obviously, and one I'm kind of happy they're out of it, but I wouldn't mind them winning. We are talking today about the Colorado Avalanche and the Boston Bruins getting eliminated from the playoffs. Let's begin. I didn't watch the highlights of the Bruins game. I was fucking there. I don't need to see the damn highlights. I know how this game went. We came out extremely strong to start the game. The top line out there, it was all the lines, honestly. Then we get a power play. We suck on the power play, and it really is how the Bruins work. After any kind of um special teams, we falter. It's just how it goes. What they do is they allow the other team to get into it after a successful penalty kill, as lots of teams do. Um, and then once they commit a penalty kill or commit, once they get through a penalty kill, they remain not, on top of the puck. They remain in penalty killing mode until another power play or some crap like that. And it's very, very frustrating. But we came out swinging. You got to give the boys credit for that. Brad Marchand returned. For the Florida Panthers, Nick Cousins and Ryan Lomberg were in for Stolars, and I forget who else came out, but we had some grittier players on bottom. So there was that. It was a very, very frustrating end of the first until Pavel Zacha on a breakaway fed by, was it DeBrusk who fed him? It was DeBrusk who fed him. Great breakaway for Pavel Zacha. That's his first playoff goal. You would imagine he's in the second round, and last year he was on the best team in regular season history. He would have a playoff goal at this point. He didn't. So this goes to show. Oh, and wait, can I let me check really quick if I can see this picture. There's me on Causeway flipping off Papalzaka before the game. I was saying I should have flipped off all the posters. Who would have known? Because clearly that worked out for Zaka pretty goddamn well. But yep, Zaka opens the scoring. It is 1-0 Boston. I honestly, what do I say? And I didn't need to write anything down. I forget how Lundell got this friggin' goal. I remember the Forsling goal. But it's not even letting me play the fucking thing. Are you come on. You got this. Let me see this crap. Let me see this crap. Oh yeah, when he was lying on the ground and then Geeky did nothing. It went right out to the slot. DeBrusk was on the ground, and Geeky was doing nothing. It was a 5-on-3 because Geeky just, I don't know. I have no problem with Geeky. He's been great these playoffs, but that was definitely very questionable from him. And obviously we had a guy on the ground. The puck was there in the middle of the ice for Lundell, who scores. Lucky for me at this game, I don't hate Lundell. There are plenty of Panthers who could have scored that goal, and I would have been punching walls, punching people, drinking beers, and throwing them onto the ice, which we need to discuss later. However, that was not the case here. Swayman just got bested by a bottom liner who's not a total douchebag. So good job, Lundell. Wish you didn't score it, obviously, but thank you for being the douchebag to tie this up. But yeah, throughout the rest of the game, the Panthers outshoot the Bruins. It's just something we expect at this point, right? So that's not a complaint. We did end up getting 23 shots on net to their 28, so it wasn't horrible like it's been in the past. You expect these kinds of things, and you rely on Swayman, and relying on Swayman got us far. We had a small spurt in the third quarter or third period where we were just lighting up friggin' Bobrovsky. I said last game was his best game of the series. This game was the best game of the series. 27 saves on 28 shots. That is some Jeremy Swayman level shit. I'm sorry, 23 shots. The Panthers had 28. Swayman was 26 of 28 because with about 1 minute left in the game, under 90 seconds, above 60, it was just a shot that no one expected from Gustav Forsling. They came in on the rush, and our defense was able to break it up, and then it just trickled out to Forsling, impossible angle, and wow, the way everyone in TD Garden just kind of collapsed. It was just like, are you serious? That went in. Uh, I do have to credit Gustav Forsling. Thank you for ending it in regulation, so I didn't have to, sit around in overtime just for my team to friggin' lose. But that is all she wrote for the Boston Bruins. Two things about the post game. One, fuck you, Bruins fans. You are there's a reason people hate us, and they were throwing shit onto the ice. They were almost, I swear to God, how close the beer cans were to hitting Paul Maurice. Like, you're not helping. You're not. Teams want to beat Boston for these reasons. They don't want to come to, or they're not going to want to come to Boston for these reasons. That's just poor sportsmanship. That sucks on you. I was very disappointed in, losing the year. Obviously, I think it was a successful year getting this far in the playoffs, especially after last year. So I wasn't too upset about it. Of course, I am, but I wasn't. But there were people literally throwing shit on the ice like we were going to win the fucking cup this year. And even if we were, even last year, that's just unacceptable. That's disgusting. We had Paul Maurice like swearing out the crowd, as he should. And there's many things he's good at, but what is it? Profanity, that's one of them. That's no offense to Paul Maurice. He said that himself. Um, but absolutely unacceptable, Bruins fans. They made up for it in some sort of fashion with a great Swayman, Swayman chant. Swayman, they were all raising their sticks. It was all for Swayman, as it should be. Swayman said it was awesome after. He was like, oh, I was tearing up out there, and you love to see that. But doesn't overturn the fact that was friggin' stupid from all of them to be throwing shit on the ice like that. So fuck whoever was doing that from the Bruins fans. You're a piece of shit, and I don't want you to be, oh, I was hammered. You don't do that. You don't do that. That's just fucking. What are you, 12? Um. Anyways, though, let's. So I'm sure you saw my face light up there. I got the Bruins contracts right here. Let's go into off-season discussions for what the Bruins are gonna do. We have a lot of money this off-season, so obviously our number one concern should be centers. Get a center. Olmark, trade Olmark. Trade Olmark for a center, don't do PLD. Do not get Pierre-Luc Dubois. I know you were toying with that at the trade deadline. Do not do it. I will be fucking pissed if we get Mr. Choking Pierre-Luc Dubois friggin' like 1 point in the damn playoffs for the Kings. Absolutely unacceptable. But we don't need Olmark. It's very sad. I was hoping I would see one of the last, if not the last, goalie hug last night. I did not. I saw the last Bruins game of the season, but I did not see a goalie hug. Um, but yeah, dude, the last goalie hug. Oh, because they didn't even do it after game. They didn't even do it after game 7. They did it. The last goalie hug at TD Garden was game 1 of the Leafs. Wow. Dude, we suck on home ice. 0-6 against the Panthers on home ice in the last 6 in the playoffs. That's unacceptable. That'll shit on the Bruins for. I've been doing very nice of like, they went out there, they tried to. That is fucking ridiculous. That's unacceptable. I mean, when your fans are tossing shit on the ice, do they really deserve it? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I'm one of the good ones. I deserve better being there. But and people, I sound like an asshole. Nice people deserve. So you got to be better on home ice. Absolutely ridiculous, and I hate it. But it looks like it will be the end of Swayman and Olmark Swaymark. So Swaymark is probably over, which is very, very sad. But we got a lot of money for that. Brandon Bussey is more than capable of being a backup to Jeremy Swayman. I don't even think we need to pursue a backup goalie in the offseason. So that's another thing we can put monies towards forwards. Let's look at our contracts. Jesper Boquist is an RFA. You could hit or miss with that. I don't really arbitration eligible. Low contract. That's fine. DeBrusque, he's probably gone. He's a playoff choke. I know. What am I? He's a regular season choker, not a playoff choker. He's probably gone, unfortunately, for us in the playoffs. Obviously, he was very, very good for us in the playoffs the last couple of years. Even on that finals run, I'm pretty sure he was pretty dang good. But DeBrusque, there's been a lot of rumors. We were lucky to have him this long because of how that was going a couple years ago, and he was on his way out, and all of a sudden we signed him a new contract, and everyone was like, "Oh, he just signed that new contract, so the other team will pick him up." No, he ended up staying. So, Yeah, DeBrusque's probably gone. Danton Heinen, UFA. Ah, this was a great comeback season for Heinen. We signed him on a very small deal, and he overperformed. I would love to see us re-sign Danton Heinen. I think we could as well, because we weren't sure what we were getting ourselves into. We had a history with Heinen, where he wasn't very good for us. He was very good for us this year, so I would imagine we could try to re-sign him. And if I was everyone else, I would. Pat Maroon did not pay off the way we all thought he might. He had that big hit in the opening game of game one against the Leafs, and everyone was like, yeah, but he was slow throughout these playoffs. He wasn't as physical as I figured he might be. He's 36. He might hang him up, to be honest with you. But if he doesn't, I can imagine him venturing off somewhere else. He's a journeyman, called no place home for too long. I would say his biggest home, honestly, was like the Lightning. At least from what I can remember. Maybe he was on the Devils or the Oilers a little longer. He was on the Ducks for like a year. But I don't know. I feel like he had his glory years in terms of obviously winning cups and stuff with the Lightning. So maybe we'll see Pat Maroon back in Tampa. I don't want to see him back in Boston. Jason Megna, P. Bruins player. We don't need to talk about that. JVR. He was nice while he was here. I thought he was really good on the power play. Obviously he had that big goal in Game 4 against the Leafs. Was it 4 or 5? I forget. Ski. It was in Toronto, so Game 4. I loved JVR on the power play. He was an early candidate for my Sixth Man Award, but he fell off. I don't see us re-signing him. So yeah, JVR, you can go. So what did we just get rid of? We got rid of one, two, three wings. Yeah, okay. That because we still because Brazo, we're gonna be using Brazo up at Boston next year. So Brazo will basically replace that. Beecher will replace that. Patrick Brown even maybe. I don't know. I like Patrick Brown's speed. Obviously, we're going to get more players in the offseason, so we don't necessarily need to use Patrick Brown and Johnny Beecher every night. I recommend we use Brazo every night. But yeah, I could also see us pawning off Pavel Zacha. Just not a playoff player. You can do whatever you want during the regular season, Zacha, but you just can't play in the playoffs, and that is more than proven now. Forbert, Grizzlick, and Shattenkirk are probably all gone in terms of defense. The only one I'll miss there is Forbert, and you might be surprised by that. Forbert, I always thought was a very underrated defenseman. I called him Scorebert. But what was I gonna say? He was very good on the penalty kill. But my only thing with him is very, 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 very injury prone, and you just can't trust him to stay healthy. So as much as I really did enjoy Derek Forbert, he was also a nuisance to have just because you couldn't rely on him to be healthy. So yeah, Forbert is probably gonzo. Yep, and obviously Swayman and Brandon Bussey's an RFA. Yeah, the only goalie that I think we're gonna get rid of here that isn't the only goalie I think we get rid of is our only goalie who signed through next year, which is Linus Solmark. Arbitration for Bussey and Swayman is available, so I think we get both of those guys back, especially Swayman, obviously. I think that kind of stinks that we're doing arbitration for Bussey, because if we tell him our plan of that you're going to back up Swayman, then obviously he'll want a little bit more money. He's 25, they're the same age, so yeah, that's damn. The average age of our defense is 20. Oh wow, offense is older. So I'm getting sidetracked here. But yeah. Oh, we're still dealing with the buyout of Mike Riley until 25, huh? Yep, and obviously we just stopped focusing on Bergeron and Krejci, so those contracts are out. That's nice. I was looking at Matthew Poitras. I don't think we're still paying Luch. Yeah, because he's on IR. Patra will be here till 26. Okay, perfect. So yeah, that is my prediction. I think we're gonna get rid of I think we're going to get rid of maybe Zaka. Um, Probably DeBrusque. Perhaps Heinen. I would think not though. Definitely Maroon. Do we care about Jason Magna? Why is he up here? Definitely JVR. definitely Forbert, Grizzlick, and Shattenkirk. Grizzlick, what a fall from grace. Starting for us and stuff, being on a line with McAvoy, and then all of a sudden, dude, you're scratching the playoffs. It's going to be a tough road for Matt Grizzlick. We had defensive depth for sure, so I'm sure he'll find his footing somewhere. But yeah, tough sailing for Matt Grizzlick. I'm sure I'll be making a podcast about the free agency, and I'm sure he will be a notable signing for somebody because I mean, hey, still a decent player. He'll probably be a top four defenseman on some team, just not what Boston needs right now. Right, and and now it is time to talk about the Avalanche and Stars game. What a fucking game. I swore so fast there. I'm sorry. What a game. So, something I need to cover real quick. I didn't even notice Rope Hintz has been out with injury. Like I said, a lot of these games I'll watch the highlights of, and the highlights are atrocious sometimes, man. They'll focus like 7 minutes of it on the first period of just plays that just don't matter and don't show the highlights later and obviously they only show like good goals or saves or so a lot of the stuff I get from social media. I did not hear that Hinch was out. I don't know why I didn't hear the Hinch was out, but Hinch has been out with injury, and finally Lundqvist comes out, but Hakanpää does not go in. It's Petrovic that goes in, so I'm not sure what the hell is going on with Hakanpää. They said we would see him this series. This is pretty far as much as you can go into the series, though. It's game seven, obviously. So unless they read the script and it said seven on it, which didn't happen, don't know why they lied to us. So I hate when injuries happen like that. Anyways, Avalanche come out swinging in this game as they would, as they should. Same as the Bruins. The best chance though is Dodonov. He gets a backhander that probably would have beat Gorgiev. It goes off the outside post, however. Um, there's this insane play that Nathan MacKinnon, gotta love MacKinnon, goes through Thomas Harley's skates into himself. Shot, save, Ottinger. Lehkonen has an insane chance with an empty net on McKinnon's rebound. Ottinger swings over to make that save too. That was like with seconds left in the period. It was crazy. Lehkonen and McKinnon were a force in this game in terms of chemistry for each other. We will see at least one more main highlight here on them working together to generate some shots and shit. But yeah, crazy good work from McKinnon and Lehkonen. Mikko Rantanen get open to the scoring, however, goal on the power play. He's just standing there. He sizes up Ottinger. He's trying to figure out how to place that shot and does that all faster than I just said it. And he gets it into the roof of the net. 1-0 or no, I'm sorry, 1-0 Avalanche, 1-0 Avs. Then was it yeah. Early in the third period, Jamie Benn gets ahead of all the Avalanche D. Dodonov is being covered. He has the puck. Dodonov with a slick backhand pass. Jamie Benn gets a hold of it, and he goes past Georgiev for a backhand shot, and that one goes in 1-1. Both goalies are standing on their heads, by the way. They're making all kinds of crazy saves, and these are excellent shots from excellent players in Benn and Rantanen. Benn has had a great playoffs so far. He will have the opportunity to continue that. Rantanen's been mildly quiet compared to last year. He had 7 goals in 7 games this year. How many games has he played? 5, 6, 4 goals in 11 games. Pretty quiet for Rantanen. Nikushkin and Lehkonen kind of filled that hole. Obviously, however, Nikushkin, it cost his team big. It really did cost his team big. McKinnon and Druin exemplify chemistry in themselves. So I was talking about McKinnon and Lehkonen earlier. Now it's McKinnon and Druin. Druin has been absolutely a force. He's had an assist in all 3 of the games that he's come in for Nikushkin. So kind of to fill that hole and make the loss seem less, palpable. But what off the ice, there's no replacing that in terms of that just sucks for all the Avalanche, and I'm sure it's living rent free in all their heads. Nikushkin was their boy. You could just tell from the on ice interactions, and just you hate to have that happen to one of your brothers. But anyways, back to McKinnon and Druin. McKinnon has this really nice chance. He goes between the legs of Hiskinen to Druin in the slot shot. Save Ottinger. Ottinger, unbelievable this game. We're gonna get into that because his best performances came after regulation. So this game goes 1-1 overtime. And the Stars outshot the Avalanche by a lot more chances for the Dallas Stars. However, the Avalanche had the best chances, and I don't think you can argue that. If they needed a save, Ottinger was there. Holy freaking shit. Um, I'd say the best player throughout the overtime was Matt Duchene. He was absolute, other than obviously Ottinger. Duchene was everywhere, making these passes, making these shots. Gorgiev coming up with everything on them. And then I think this was an OT one. Mason Marchment gets a goal off a face-off that's overturned for goalie interference. So they say, or not even overturned, they say no goal on the ice. After review, they determine no goal, and this is horse shit. I can shit on another call that is not a Bruins call, so let's go. We can do this. It is against the team I wanted to win though, so hey. But I think everyone agrees if this was not overtime in an elimination game, this would have been called a good goal. They just did not want the series to end like this. Everyone's saying that, whether or not that's true. If it's not true, then this is just an absolutely horrible, horrible freaking call. Matt Duchene brushes on Gorgiev, but Gorgiev is out of the paint, and the contact is forced by Cale Makar. Yet they don't there were two things there that should have made this a no goal, and they call it a. Or I'm sorry, that should have made this a goal, and they call it no goal. This is a bad call, and it made me stay up an hour later. So we hate that. We hate that. So Duchesne after this and before is as pissed off, going all at it. Zach Parise, like I said, we want the best for Zach Parise, right? He announced he's retiring after this season, after this postseason. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I've told you guys time and time again, him and Ryan Suter of the Dallas Stars, both on the Minnesota Wild, both beloved by the fan base, love Minnesota, love their team, both screwed out of staying there by the GM who buys them out. This is just so impactful on both the players, and I felt extremely bad for them. So I was hoping that Suter or Parise or both would get a cup by the time it's all said and done. Parise is this close to forcing Game 7. He just misses. The puck is leaking wide of Ottinger, and he sees it at the last second and goes for it. But he hits the outside of the net, and Ottinger comes over as well. So I'm not even sure it would have gone in. Ottinger was wide lying down there. It was crazy. And that's what was crazy about Ottinger to transition to him is throughout the whole he was playing out of position so much. Like he would go out of his net to make a play and just have to dive back in and make the save. This was one of the most insane goalie performances I've ever seen, as far as I can remember. Not in terms of efficiency, but in terms of like just making up for your own mistakes, just diving back into the net, trying to put on a show. Ottinger, holy crap, you had me eating popcorn, baby. It was freaking crazy. Good job to Jake Ottinger, a guy who we saw getting lit up in the first two games of the postseason by the Golden Knights. We were unsure if he was going to be able to be himself from a few years ago. I remember I had a discussion on this channel where I said I was disappointed in him. I said I was like, damn, like I really wanted to see Ottinger come out swinging, especially after that game a couple years ago. God damn, or that series. God damn, he is back. Jake Ottinger is back. He wasn't here all season. He had a below 900 save percentage over the season, and he's doing this crap. It's unbelievable. But like I said, the Stars had more chances. The Avalanche's chances were just far more noteworthy. And then finally, there's a scramble in front of the Avalanche net. Duchesne goes around like he knows where it's going. It trickles out, and Duchesne story end score. So why do I say story end? Third overall, if I recall, by the Colorado Avalanche when they were shit. Matt Duchesne was a shining bright star on that pile of shit. He was a diamond in the rough on that horrible Avalanche team. I remember when I started watching the league, the only reason you would turn on an Avalanche game is for him and McKinnon. And they traded him to I forget if they sent him to Ottawa first or Columbus or I forget, but obviously they got rid of him, and I was like, why would you get rid of Matt Duchesne? He's really good. And Matt Duchesne has been one of my favorite players since, because I'm like, why would they do that? I like Colorado. Why would they get rid of Matt Duchesne? So I was following Matt Duchesne around the league. Obviously, Spent time on both of those teams I mentioned at Nashville, and now he's down here in Dallas, and he gets that winner against his old team that kind of did him dirty, in my eyes at least. And whoo, you can't write this shit. You can't write this shit. 2020, like 15 Joe would be like, no way he's gonna do that. 10 years. 10 years. God damn, it's that close, huh? But yeah, if you told me that 10 years ago, I would be freaking out. That is unbelievable to me. I love that. I love, love, love that for Matt Duchene and for the Dallas Stars. I'm so glad that they won this game. Now that the Stars advanced and Colorado and the Bruins are out, no team has won it since Dallas in 1999. So we are going to see a brand spanking new winner this year. You'll love to see it. That's what I was hoping for the last few years. Obviously, we weren't getting that or the chance at that with Tampa. Keep going back to the finals. And then obviously Colorado won it. And then I think the conference finals last year, it was very similar, whereas like no team had won it in the past like 20, 25 years. And here we are again with the Vegas Golden Knights going out, obviously not going to have a back to back. The Lightning are out, the Bruins are out, the Avalanche are out. So a bunch of the recent winners are out, and the remainders are the people who haven't won it in a long time or not at all. Rangers, what, 93? Oilers, fuck if I know, maybe 91 or something a little before that. Stars 99. Canucks never. Panthers never. I think that's it. There's 5 teams left. That's insane to me. There's 5 teams. But we're saying goodbye to Zach Parise. This sucks for him. I really enjoyed him over the course of his career, watching him play. I might do a little video where I discuss, his career a bit. But that's to be seen. I'm still working hard at these, obviously. Maybe it will come when all this is said and done. I think Parisi is the only player who announced to be retiring after this season. I'm not sure if there's anyone else. I can't really think of anybody right now. But other than like, a couple no names, I'm pretty sure like some old ass goalie said it. But yeah, let's talk about the Avalanche's future. They really, other than people who came over at trade deadline, don't really have too much expiring in terms of people they need to re-sign. Johnson is going to be UFA. You don't need to re-sign Johnson. Sean Walker, he did very, very poorly for you. You don't re-sign him. Andrew Cogliano, my boy from the Duck days, I imagine he might retire. If not, maybe he would sign a 1-year deal with the Ducks. That would be great. Oh, now that I say it out loud, that's what I want to see. I want to see it. I want to see it. But that would be awesome. But I could also see Cogliano retiring. He hasn't been as nearly as effective as he used to be back in the day. Kind of forgot he was on the Avalanche quite a bit, and he's a player obviously I enjoy. So yeah, I would not be surprised if he re-signed with the Ducks or retired, but I could not see Cogliano re-signing with the Avalanche. Jonathan Drouin, the last few games make you want to re-sign him, right? I'm not sure he will. I wouldn't be surprised either way. If they did re-sign Drouin, it would be a short-term deal though. Brandon Duhaime, probably gone. Kivi Ranta, probably gone. Yakov Trenin, probably gone. RFA, Casey Middlestat. I could see Middlestat sticking around. I think he's available for arbitration as well. I'm not 100% on that. But I think Middlestat fit in pretty dang well. And if not, he will be a great coveted agent on the open market. Being an RFA obviously makes it easier to sign Middlestat. But yeah, especially with the Nikushkin hole, unfortunately, they're going to need to bring it. They're going to have some money. I'm not sure how much Nikushkin was bringing in, but they have that hole, and then obviously the hole from all the people that just are going to be leaving now. I'm not sure how much they signed Cogliano for, but it's probably a deal that's not worth his play the last couple of seasons because of how poorly he aged. Let me see. Sean Walker probably was making a bit of dough. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure they're going to get too much money from those guys, but Nikushkin, I can only imagine. So, yeah, I think the Avalanche will have to fill that Nikushkin hole, and other than that, just run it back with the same core. You have a great team. You just ran into the Dallas Stars, who obviously took out the Vegas Golden Knight, defending champion in round one. Steam, coming in hot doing that, right? They took them 7 games. They were feeling hot coming off that, and they came in. You went down 3-1. It's just unfortunate for you that you ran into this team. I think that you have a lot of potential with this squad. We were talking dynasty when the Avalanche first won their cup. That obviously is not the case anymore. But I will say this is a great team to continue to be looking out for if you're in the West. If you're in the West, the Avalanche will continue to be a problem as long as they maintain the people that they currently have, and I don't see them making any major changes this offseason. But other than Kukushkin, but that's out of their control. Other than that, I am done with this video. So thank you guys for watching. A lot less depressing than you'd hope it would be, right? You were like, oh, I hope he fucking shits on the Bruins. No, no, no. I'm okay with it. We ended better than I thought we would. I'm just glad we got past the Leafs. And I forgot. Hold on. Actually, before I end, let me just see if there. Oh my God, 8-3 shots for the Stars in the second. There you go. So remember, these stats are skewed because of the overtime. 5 shots for Jamie Benn. There's your leadership. 4 for Duchesne. 4 for Heiskanen. 9 blocks, Chris Tanev. Yeah, I'm glad I pulled this up. 7 for Thomas Harley. Oh my God. These guys' bodies must be freaking aching. Oh. Speaking of which, I forgot to mention McAvoy and Zaka early in the game, both block shots, and were pretty banged up for the rest of the game. We'll see if they broke something. Obviously, they would continue playing unless it was they couldn't. So they could have broken something. Marchment, 8 hits. Craig Smith, 5. Pavelski, 5. Avalanche side of the puck. Wow. Yeah, a lot of the players actually didn't have a shot on net. McKinnon had 6. Rantanen had 5. Sean Walker had 4 and 4 blocks. Ross Colton, 7 hits. Chris Wagner, 8 hits. Providence Bruin alum. 2019 bottom line. Chris Wagner, Nola Chari. Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Sean Corrali. Ross Colton, 7 hits. Artemi Lehkonen, 5. Jack Johnson, 7. His name is Jack, right? I was dodging that because I wasn't sure. Yeah, I just know he also sings Flake. So I wasn't sure if I was just getting mixed up there or if it was actually the same freaking name. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching. Long live the Boston Bruins and Zach Parise.